Top hat.
I like that.
We need to be recording this.
We are.
Oh, awesome.
Get some outtakes on this one. Well, as we're talking about Sasquatch, which is what I called you when you walked in.
And I corrected you.
Yeah, to a restaurant.
Rougarou.
Rougarou.
Rougarou is the Cajun Sasquatch, the Cajun version.
Yeah, because they can't say Sasquatch. It's too difficult for a Cajun person.
My friends from Louisiana, I'm sorry. This is not what I said at all. I love you, Eric, another, I don't know.
Hey, I lived there for a while, so I can say it. So,
well, welcome.
Welcome to Grace for the Wilderness podcast. I'm Eric, a recipient of Extravagant Grace.
Yes, you are, and I am as well. And I'm Andy, and wrong way. So thankful to have you hosting me today.
I was about to say, hey, where's this going? It's my backyard.
I was about to give you a compliment, saying this is a beautiful backyard. He's got all these flowers, and
well, the flowers are the wife's doing. It's not mine. So,
well, that does not surprise me, right?
She does. She takes care of these babies.
Yeah. So we're recording 1 week after Mother's Day.
Yes, that's right.
And we've got hey, words are hard, math is hard, calendar's really hard.
But thank you for reminding me earlier that January was 5 months ago. Thanks for that.
And thank you for reminding me there's 7 days in a week, which was your response.
Yeah, well,
so
I dish it out as well.
I feel our viewership is declining as we speak. So,
which is not hard since it wasn't big to begin with. It may go downhill after this one.
So, we got about 3 weeks out from Father's Day.
Yeah.
So we want to talk about fathers, but of course, before we do that,
you got to do a buddy joke.
And I mean, is this not the best part of the episode?
Yeah, because I have no idea what's coming my way.
Well, let me tell you something I did the other day. I ordered a chicken and an egg online, and I'll let you know which one gets there first.
The chicken or the egg?
Yes.
Was it on Amazon? Where'd you get that chicken? Zimbabwe? Alive or dead?
We'll see.
What's that estimated time of arrival?
Are you a fan? Because you did like the first one I did. You did not like when I told the one about the cannibals.
They're all silly. That's what makes them a buddy joke. Can Buddy use the internet?
Yes, yes, he can. I could tell other stories about Buddy, but we'll stick with this joke.
This is PG. Well, speaking of fathers, Father's Day is coming up soon. I don't know how many weeks because I'm bad with math and calendars, but it is coming up soon. I was saying, I've written a song about my dad, and we were talking about that, but we were invited to be on a podcast with a dear friend of mine down in Sarasota, and you kind of shared, some about yours, but, in the midst of all of that, you're like, Eric, I don't really know, much about your, father, kind of father wounds, anything like that, and we said, Father's Day is coming up. Why not kind of share about that?
Yeah, I thought that would be a great idea because this is like raw and uncensored because I've not heard this from Eric. Seriously.
Yeah.
You haven't told me a lot about your upbringing, although you just told me an interesting bee story. Apparently there's a lot of bees in Corner, Alabama.
Well, you got to get your honey naturally.
Yes.
Which we did. And so, I think, thinking John Eldridge, Wild at Heart, those things. I think father wounds are there in a lot of us. Maybe suppressed, you may have dealt with it, those kind of things. And, for me, like I mentioned, I've written, just poems, songs, just written stuff, my feelings and those. But
I'm sorry. I'm sorry to laugh, but when you said I've written poems and songs, I thought you said I've written porn and songs.
and our viewership is done.
Like, where is he going with this?
We've now gone into the wilderness. We've gone into the wilderness for sure. But
I'm sorry.
it's rude. But speaking of the wilderness, kind of tying it in, oftentimes, the father wounds can lead us into the wilderness, whether it's through addictions of any sort, any kind. But it can lead us into the wilderness. It can lead to isolation, loneliness, bitterness, anger. And so what better place? I mean, that's what we're here for. We're helping leaders and pastors navigate the wilderness. And part of that is father wounds.
Oh, yeah. I think mother and father wounds are the ones that we hold on to the longest, too.
Yeah.
And even as we think, for me, it may not be true for you or somebody else, but I thought that I had dealt with it and I didn't.
Yeah. And I think, you know, to your point, it's like, okay, I think I've dealt with it, but then something in a relationship, a conversation, somebody may say something, do something, and just unearths it. Like it just comes up out of nowhere. Whether we get angry, whether we get defensive, whatever that response might be, and then somebody's gonna look at us and go, "Where did that come from?
Yeah.
Where did that outburst come from? Or where did that depression come from? Where did that just kind of went away for 5 months come from?" And just kind of comes up. And I think you mentioned, I know, your father, he was older when he had you, but he was born in a really difficult time, the Depression time, into the, World Wars. Those men just, I mean, think about my granddad, like those men never wore their feelings on their sleeves. They were put together. You don't talk about hardships. You don't talk about your feelings.
Yeah.
You don't talk about if I'm having a hard day, bad week. And they just kind of held it in. And I know, like my dad, his dad, I never knew his dad. I never knew that, like my granddad on that side. He died before I was born. But unfortunately, JB, my granddad, he worked in the coal mine. He was an electrician in the coal mines.
Okay.
My dad was very young. One day in the coal mines, they were trying to set a power pole, and it hit my granddad on one side of his body, his head, and it really kind of you may have to kind of push that back a little bit. Hang on, guys. Getting a cray in this no burn fire zone we have around here. I just used a spoon to push back wood. But so what happened is that kind of, in a lot of ways, it put my granddad kind of out of work.
Okay.
And
he survived.
He survived, but it really crippled him.
Mentally, physically?
Physically. But again, I'll say mentally, yes, because physically he couldn't do a lot of things anymore. So mentally he checked out.
Yeah.
So my dad, unfortunately, grew up in a lot of ways without a father. Didn't play baseball with him, didn't play catch, didn't interact with my dad.
Yeah.
Not that he didn't want to, he just couldn't, and he kind of went into a depression. And so he died, even like when my dad was, I think, in his early 20s, to 21. But my dad has oftentimes said, I didn't really have a dad growing up to see how to be a dad. I'm just doing the best I can with you. And
how's that? I know this is, stereotypical question, but how does that make you feel? I'm serious. I want to know the answer to that.
you hear those words, but it doesn't make me feel any better. Almost to the point of like I'm here, but it's like just be present. And one of the beautiful things with my dad, we all have our flaws, right? But one of the beautiful things, he was present in my life. I will say that. I mean, we went fishing all the time. He was my baseball coach, little league. He did a lot of things. I was at his hill, you know, for everything.
Yeah.
I have a lot of great memories growing up with that. But when it came to words of affirmation, saying I love you, I'm proud of you, those things I never did hear.
Yeah.
And so, though he was present and always like there,
Yeah.
not hearing those things over time, you start wondering as you get older, am I good enough?
Yeah.
Does he love me? Does he, am I doing a good enough job? Am I doing good? And that did start taking a toll on me as I got older, for sure. Not so much growing up, but once I went off to college and was becoming my own, then it started, those father wounds started coming up of, am I good enough? Am I loved? Am I accepted?
Yeah, because you don't really know what you don't have until you experience something else.
Right.
Which is where I was. So you were in this household with your dad, and this is all you thought dads were.
Yep.
And you get out and you experience something different. Like, oh,
there's different. Like, it
this
can be
is what I would like.
Right. And I didn't really grow up in a going to church house per se. So I think that was another part of, he definitely didn't have those conversations, of Jesus or God or faith. Like, we didn't have those conversations. But, one of the things he taught me biblically, though he didn't probably know, and we've talked about this, in Proverbs, it's really clear that hard work is what God's designed us to do as well. To work hard with our hands. You want food, you got to work to get the food.
Yeah.
He did instill that into me, that hard work ethic. Like, go work hard and don't slack off in that. So to this very day, that's really still instilled in me.
And that's not surprising because that's what he knew.
That's what yeah. But in a lot of ways, he had to, he had to grow up fast to put money on the table for the family.
Yeah.
So there was him, his older brother, his older sister, and then Granny. Granny didn't really work, so all three of them were those kids were trying to provide, for the family. So there was this sense of he had to grow up quicker than most would his age, but then that sense of, I have to go work.
Yeah.
And so, I definitely grew up seeing that in both my parents. But
how did that play out as you became an adult? I know you said that the father wound leads you to difficulties and leads you to the wilderness.
Yeah.
It can.
Yeah.
How did that play out in your life?
Yeah. Similarly, it led to me never knowing if I was good enough, worthy enough. And for example, again, as I was older, it started really unfolding and playing out. So I mentioned growing up, we always had a fishing boat. We were always, fishing all the time. Again, great memories I have with my dad. But as I started getting older, he still had a bass boat, but he was taking other men kind of my age fishing.
Oh, wow.
And not me, not even inviting me,
They fed into it more.
fed in more. So here's what I did. I said, I'll go buy a bass boat so that I can call him. Hey, you come and get on my. I'll come pick you up. Right? He never said. He never was on my boat.
Mm.
So I went and bought item, thinking, well, if I go buy that, we can do something together.
Yeah.
I can get his approval.
Yeah.
He never saw it, and never once fished on it.
Has that led you to seek that out in other guys?
Yeah, I think so. I think so, and I think that's it's caused me to seek validation from older men doing a good job, like
Yeah.
and hearing the words, "I love you, brother," like you're doing well. But even when it's correction, like even when it's like, hey, like, can we talk?
Yeah.
We got. I know that it's done out of love because I've heard the words, "I love you."
Yeah.
And so versus when I would get that from my dad, even as I became older, not hearing, "Hey, good job, I love you, I'm proud of you," it just started becoming criticism, and again, it's feeding into, I don't even meet up to his standards. But it really came into play in our marriage, my marriage.
Okay. That makes sense because you're looking for that, and now you have a spouse.
Yeah.
And you're looking for that need, and quite frankly, that's a need that only God can fulfill ultimately, right?
Right. But I started putting pressure on my wife to make me feel validated. That's not her place.
Yeah.
To your point, that's only comes from God.
Yeah.
And I was trying to spin that and say, okay, now you validate me.
Yeah.
And so when that, if anybody knows my wife, that's just sometimes she ain't gonna roll that way.
Well, she can put you in jail.
She can put me in jail. So there was that pushback, right? She was kind of pushing back, saying, "That's not my place."
Yeah.
So there was a hard time even in our marriage because of that.
Yeah.
And it did lead me to the wilderness. It did lead me to how I view God. Like for a long time, I view God as this critical, waiting for me to mess up.
Yeah.
God.
Yeah. Our relationship with our earthly fathers, more than any other, I believe, more than any other relationship, determines a lot about what we think about God.
Oh, hands down, because we hear Father, we see Father,
Yeah.
and we just impose the same thing onto our Heavenly Father, to God.
Yeah.
And we go, well, if my Father is that way, God's got to be that way.
It's interesting you're talking about the seeking of affirmation, and hey, I want to know that I'm doing well and that I'm loved and I'm cared for and I'm enough. Those types of things. I mean, to this day, I am intentional about saying those things. Not every day, not every week, but I'm intentional about saying those things to my kids.
Yeah.
Because I know I needed that so deeply, and I didn't get it.
Yeah.
And
I think, I'm big on it. I'm always like, when I hang up with you or different thing, like, I love you, brother. I love you, buddy. And I do mean that. But it's one
I
of
don't remember you saying that to me.
You can't hear.
It's
couldn't
usually
hear
a curse word.
You couldn't hear a dump truck if it went through a nitroglycerin plant.
Hey, we're going to talk about Christmas Vacation in a minute, right?
Oh, yeah.
That's a great line from that movie.
Not the best one. He's just smoking that cigarette. You couldn't hear a dump truck.
He wants you to say the blessing.
Oh. Grace
I
died
pledge
30
allegiance.
Grace died 30 years ago.
No, I'm just
Yeah.
kidding. You do say that.
But it's, it's one of those, because I didn't hear it,
Yeah.
and I want people to know, like, I do love you and I do care about you. And it's something that I mentioned a couple of weeks ago in a teaching. Don't wait, initiate. Don't wait for somebody else to say, I love you, buddy, or I'm proud of you, good job. Don't wait for somebody to say that. You say that to somebody as well. And it's just this, like, I'm not going to wait for you to say it. I'm going to say it.
Yeah.
And because I think oftentimes we think, again, I don't know about with my dad, but if I'm a betting man, I'm not. I would imagine he thinks, I love him, I'm proud of him, but he's never said it.
Yeah.
So it's not that he didn't think that. I've never thought that. He just didn't ever say it.
Yeah.
And so but it still creates a father wound.
Yeah.
And I think it would sometimes conversations would get back to me that my dad would have with somebody else, and those people would say, I ran into I saw your dad, last week. He's really proud of you. Like he would tell them.
Yeah. So why don't you just tell me?
Yeah. And I'm like, okay, thank you. And I'm like, why didn't you just tell me?
Yeah. Just pick up the phone and tell me that. How much that would mean? Even just text it to me.
Yeah. And so sometimes that then would like piss me off, because then I'm like, can you just not tell me your own son?
Hey guys, Eric here. As you just heard, one of the things that I do as I write songs, or I just do writings about things in life, processing theology and thoughts about that. But also, one of the things that I do is I just write songs just to process things that I go through in life, grief, trauma, those things. And a couple of years ago on Thanksgiving, I actually took the time and just processed, and I wrote a song about my dad, and it's entitled "Never Quite Enough." And if you were listening, I've never felt that I was good enough for my dad. It was just never quite enough for him. And so what you're about to hear next is the song that I wrote about my dad. Thanks.
I can see him in the mirror, in the lines around my face. His shadows always lingered in every choice I've made. I've tried to bridge the distance, but it always feels so wide. I'm standing here just hoping he might meet me halfway this time. It's never enough, no matter what I do. Every step I take just can't break through. I keep reaching out, but he won't take my hand. Just a boy still searching for the love of a dad. I hear his voice in my memories, sharp as the crack of rain. It cuts through all my courage, leaves behind the pain. I've built a life he's never seen, though I prayed he'd be proud. But every silence tells me I'm still letting him down. It's never enough, no matter what I do. Every step I take just can't break through. I keep reaching out, but he won't take my hand. Just a boy still searching for the love of a dad. Does he know I'm breaking? Does he even see. I'm still that boy just wishing he'd believe in me. I don't need perfection, just a moment of his time to hear him say he's proud to call me his child. It's never enough, no matter what I do. Every step I take just can't break through. I keep reaching out, but he won't take my hand. Just a boy still searching for the love of a dad. So I'll keep on holding, though the pain runs deep, hoping for a day when love won't feel so out of reach. Until then I'll keep on singing, searching for his love. A son just trying to be